I just broke my transfer case. I just snapped my transfer case. That's the biggest mistake I've ever made on one of my vehicles. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on the 2005 Dodge Durango again. I say again because this is another video, but I just got done doing a very frustrating transmission shift solenoid job. Only frustrating because it was disgusting. There's a murder scene down there, transmission fluid everywhere. It was all over me. Keeping it clean, just that's the biggest headache. So hopefully go back and watch that video if you need that job done, and we can I can be helpful to you. But today the 4x4 shift solenoid is what I'm working on because it gets stuck in 4-wheel drive. It's been stuck in 4-wheel drive. It seems to maybe shift in and out, but it goes from 4 to 4 low, and you'll drive it. You can still drive it because it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, so until you're turning into a parking spot or out of a parking spot, make a really tight turn, you don't even notice it. But and it doesn't lower or bring down the fuel mileage in any way. But I have the part here. I have the part somewhere. I moved it because the light is so bright over there. I think it's on my toolbox. So let's go check out that part. So this shift solenoid is in the box. He already took it out of the packing. Well, packing's still there a little bit. But yeah, it's just a shift motor that drives a gear basically, and this gear puts the transmission into or the transfer case into 4 high or 4 low, but it is already in all-wheel drive. So I haven't really inspected this compared to the other one, because the other one is actually pretty tight up in there and hard to get to. So I'll show you that. It's not as dirty and disgusting as my last project, but it is a little dirty, and I do got to take some components off underneath. So I've already got it jacked up. I've already got some jack stands there. I'm going to use I'll either put it down on the jack stands and get the regular jack under it, or I'm going to use a little jack here because we have to support the transmission and pull the cross member out. All right guys, well, I hope the lighting is better for you than it is for me. Problem is the sun just bakes down and is direct angled at our garage in our house, so as it comes in, it's just reflecting off the concrete and just being a pain. But let me show you what we got. So what I'm going to do is take off, there's 4 bolts on each side of this transmission cross member. So I've got it jacked up here on the transfer case. I'm going to drop these 4 bolts, or these 8 bolts, and the cross member, and then I'm going to pull. I think I've got to pull the 2 bolts out from inside for the transmission mount first. So I should flip this so it's 15, and that's a 15. So it looks like I can get a shallow 15 on there. So 15 bolts. So I got to get the deep bolts. So two 15 nuts are holding on this transmission mount, and then 4 on each side for the cross member. So hopefully I can set the camera up in a way that you can see and the lighting is good. Let me grab my 15mm deep well. And not only is this heat, sun causing lighting issues, it's also beating directly down on my legs, and it's warm. So yeah, I don't know if you can see. You can't. So up here, touch it with my light, because everything the light touches. That's how it goes. Look, what are we looking at? Yeah. So this, it's this part that I touch with the light. So yeah, that's how you can't see it. I can't see it. It's under this. So this axle's in the way, the exhaust is in the way, and this cross member's in the way. So I think what it looks like, if I remove the cross member, I can see it better and at least get to it, and then pull the 10mm bolts off. It's just a couple bolts, and then it'll come off and unplug it. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just make sure you know that's where it's at. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening in here. I just took these 2 out. If I can't see, Let me go to the next ones, and then I bet I'm gonna have to get the other two from the other side, because why would I be able to get anything laying on my back in any, oh man, holding this heavy gun upside down. I have to go to the other side because I can't get to anything from this side. Why would this, any job, be easier than, you know? So now it's right there. I can see it. A couple of 10mm bolts to plug, but this is, this heat shield is blocking my access, so I have to take it down and then get a 10mm wrench, it looks like, and pull it out of there. So let me grab the 10mm wrench. Wait, got some kind of retaining washer on there, so that's cool. Yeah, some type of retaining washer on this thing for some reason, but yeah, I do have this nice long 10mm, and I think I don't know what it'll do. I can't see anything, so you get just as good of a view as me, which is not much of one. Alright, there we go. Now you can see the rest of this guy is there, and now I think that's a 13, not a 15. So I need a wrench, another one, 13. Alright, I'll put it loose for you. There it is. There's one, that stud is a 13, and there's a 10mm, a little bit more rusty bolt there, up here. Those two will come out, and then I think that's it, just 2 bolts. So this thing should be just 2 bolts, and then 13 and a 10. So let's see if we can pull it out and pull this thing out. And then we'll worry about clocking it and all the things that they talk about, because it's got to be pointed in the right direction. And I think what's more important is pulling the, it's going to leak. Are you going to leak? Is this going to leak gear oil? This looks like it's going to leak gear oil on me. If it leaks gear oil, I'm going to be very mad, because I just had an out-of-body oil experience with the transmission, and now this bolt is a through bolt to the transfer case, apparently, and it wants to. Also, this plug, I'm going to worry about this plug when it's out, because this plug is apparently a red locking Chrysler plug, like every other red locking Chrysler plug, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. That's a song. No, it's not. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Alright. I don't think I'm going to let you come along for this ride of me just taking these bolts that have thousands of threads out very slowly. And you can hear that it's not coming any looser, so I can't get my hand up there and unloosen these bolts because they're pretty tight. Wow, I'm surprised. I thought it'd be worse than that. Alright, so I added a pry bar and some channel locks to my tool mix, because somehow I gotta get this thing off of here. guess you'd add another pry bar to the mix, huh? This guy is not friendly to me. Come on. Hope I didn't break anything. There's 3 bolts in this. I just broke my transfer case. I just snapped my transfer case. Literally just broke my transfer case. Yeah, that's a piece of my transfer case. There's 3 bolts on this. I forced it and I broke it. Yeah, I just did that. And I remember this transfer case is not easy to remove from the transmission. It's the biggest mistake I've ever made on one of my vehicles. And it's the dumbest. Cause yeah. I don't know how much I got on camera because I'm upset at myself. Right up here. I don't know how well you can see. There's a hole in my transfer case. There's 3 bolts in this, and yeah, I did that. Oh, the top bolt! I forgot the top bolt. And when I forgot the top bolt, this part of the transfer case broke out. So, yeah, you know, I'm seriously considering just JB welding it. It's very clean. Transfer case doesn't create pressure. It's not pressurized. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. This just became a 2-for-1 video. The bad news is I cracked a hole in my transfer case. The good news is it's high, so I did spray this, but on the inside this is dry, so this is not in contact with gear oil. So this was not wet, so it's not pressurized. My confusion, why I did this, was this bolt is hard to see, almost impossible to see, the way I was, and just with the wiring in the way. So when I also took this out, or took the first 2 bolts out, and then I went to look at this one. There's only 2 bolt holes there, you know. So I thought, oh, there's only 2 bolt holes, not knowing that this is an alignment tool for the gear box there, and yeah, it was hiding the third bolt hole, and I'm an idiot. So what I'm gonna do is I bought some JB Quick because I don't have 4 hours for it to sit here. I'm gonna put this on here. So this was here, aligned with the top of this solenoid. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna slobber this with JB Weld, and then I'm gonna put it in the Jeep, and then I'm gonna put it together. I think that's all that I can do. So yeah, let me looking at this though. Should be able to go in there, no problem. Yeah, should be fine. So I should be able to put this in there just fine, with it bolted on. I'll see. I cleaned up the transfer case, so I'll go do some fitting of this, and then I'll let you know if I either JB Weld this and put it in, and then bolt this in, or if I bolt it to the servo motor and then put it in. All right, guys. I don't know how long I forgot to hit record for, but I think it might have been for too long. There it is. It's in there. I JB welded the piece, bolted it onto it, and then put it in, just like I said I was going to do. I set up the camera and I pointed it at it, and I don't know if I hit record. And then I rushed under here. Oh, I'll show you what I did. I mean, I just mixed JB Weld. I bolted it just like I said I was going to do, just like it came off, and then put it in place, and it seemed to seat pretty well. So I just hope that the JB Weld didn't get down on the gears and the motor actuator part. So I'll finish putting the last bolts in this, and then be done here. 1,000 threads. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just let you know. Just so you know it's fine. I want you to know it's fine. Yes, it's fine. Alright, so in case I didn't record, I'm sure I didn't, yeah, I just squirted the epoxy here. It comes with this one, says it's a mixing tray. I've already overused it. And I just mix it till it turns gray. It's white and black, it comes out of here. So I did that, and then I just smeared it all over the edges of that. I bolted the other piece to here, and I just smeared it all over the edges. So I was just hoping it didn't run down and get onto this. Hopefully this seated against the edge and it didn't get into that bearing or the gear itself. But yeah, I don't know if this was necessarily even bad. You could hear it clicking, but I know people have said that when it clicks, it still could be bad, like it was going into gear, and it's lined up how the new one was aligned. So I don't know, because the new one should come in all-wheel drive and not four-wheel drive. But yeah, that was a lot, guys. Quite frankly, I'm embarrassed myself. I'm disappointed, but I'm very mad. It's an older car. Things happen, but I should have known that third bolt was there. I should have known that once I started prying, that it wasn't just stuck. Yeah, so we'll see how this video plays out, how I can edit it, if I even what I even caught on camera. But yeah, hopefully my mistakes can teach you a lesson what not to do. Also, you know, we'll see if that JB Weld fix works. I just gotta fill the transmission up from the last job I did, and then I'll take it for a quick drive, see how she does. JB Weld sets up in 6 minutes, like you saw. It's already set up in there, so by the time I get this filled, I should be able to take it for a spin, and we'll see if the four-wheel drive is fixed. I don't know, part of me thinks it's a wiring problem, but fingers crossed that the parts came and worked. And then both that project was a little over $100, so 150, I think, 150 bucks. But you can't find it at a parts store for less than 300, and at any reasonable amount of time to get it to you. So that was good, but yeah, bad execution. So yeah, good initiative, poor judgment. That's what we say. So like, subscribe, follow me for more terrible videos and what not to do's. And if this becomes an issue, I think the next step would be to drop the transfer case. That transfer case is not easy. The upper bolts are ridiculously hard to get to. So I remember that they were hard to get to. So I had to buy super stubby wrenches, and it was a deal. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But my next step would be to take it out and TIG weld it. So I would have to buy a TIG welder first. So the TIG welder is cheaper than a replacement transfer case. TIG welder it is. So we'll see if this JB Weld holds. Like I said, it's not under pressure. It's not wet. So I think it'll be fine. But we'll see. Quick update on the Durango, guys. JB Weld repair did not hold. It's leaking. So it's not a good video on how to JB Weld transfer case. I guess sometime in the near future it's coming out. So yeah, I'll just look for new ones, or I'll see about repairing that one. So yeah, it is what it is. Live and you learn, and you get burned. But that's we've had that thing paid off for a long time. It's an old vehicle, 2005, lots of miles. So you know, could have been worse, right? Yep, this is me owning up to my mistake. We all make them. Some are bigger than others. This one's only, luckily, a $175 mistake. You know, and all because of this $100 part over there. It's about 3 weeks later, actually. Not because I didn't buy this right after that, but because of my surgery. So I come off of convalescent leave in 2 days. So me tackling this project is a great indicator of how well I'll be ready to get back to work. I am very gingerly walking on this. I say walking. I have a cane, and I'm putting 75% of my weight on it. But yeah, back to the task at hand. I found this junkyard not long after I broke the older one. So first thing I need to do is get this up off the ground, open it up, and by open it up I just mean open the drain hole, fill hole, check the fluid, make sure, since it's been sitting, it hasn't you know, gotten any water in it. I've got the output shaft sealed to replace on it. So check the fluids, fill it up. This vent tube looks like it's kind of plugged, so I might have to use the vacuum as I clean that out so it doesn't fall down into that dirt doesn't fall into the casing. But yeah, otherwise that's it. I'll like I said, I'll open it up. Maybe I'll stick my camera in there just to make sure it's not rusted if any water comes out. So let me get it up somehow and yeah, find out how good. Well, I scoped it and it looks clean. Somebody just drained it, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill it back up. I would have shown you the scope, but the battery's kind of dead, so it's had to plug it in, and it doesn't look great on camera. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this thing up. So I've got bought one of these pumps. You could probably just take your, what I've done in the past also is if you've got a soap dispenser, just keep the lid, and you can put it down in these and squirt it in here. So I'm just going to fill it up till it runs out. I don't think I need to show you that. Obviously this should have drained out, but it didn't. So I'm just going to fill this up until fluid starts to drain out, and then this one will be all set and ready to go in the vehicle once I get the rear steel put in. So like I said, I already pounded this one in, and then like I said, I'll fix that vent hose. But that's it. Yep, just going to fill this up and then go get those parts. All right, guys. Well, we're under the Durango again. This is not a very difficult job. Just need to take these bolts off of the drive shaft here, and then all the way back there. So pull both drive shafts out. You already saw me take this cross member off when I was my first failed attempt. So I'm not going to show that. I think it's pretty simple taking a drive shaft off. 4 bolts if it's in neutral, and you can actually turn the drive shaft. It makes it much easier. Haven't gotten these wheels all the way off the ground, so we'll see how that goes. And then slide this drive shaft off of here, which should not be too difficult. And then the hardest part are the bolts that I chased. Well, not very hard. The bolts on the back on the that bolt mate the transfer case to the transmission. The top bolts are difficult to get to. When I did this torque converter, I had to go buy special stubby wrenches because that's all I could get up there. So the good news is I broke them free a couple years ago, so that's going for me. The bad news is they're just tough to get to, so I'll put a jack underneath the transmission pan here. Once I get obviously as I'm taking off the cross member, I'll put the jack under here and we'll lower the transmission to get to those bolts as best as possible once I've got these drive shafts out. So all right, let me get to the drive shafts. Like I said, I won't show you that. If there's any problems with this, I'll show you as I get in here, but probably won't bring it back until I got this transfer case out. I do have a transfer case jack here. So I got this transmission, kind of a floor jack. Pretty cheap guy. Pretty easy. Get a strap around it so you can actually handle it down here. So this is going to help us out a lot, hopefully. The transmission was really awkward, so it didn't really help, but for the transfer case, we're hoping it does. So all right, I'm going to get to it. All right, guys, things are happening. But what I did want to show you was some of the tools. Mostly 15 millimeters. The bolts around that transfer case are 14 millimeter. So if you're going to do this job, so this stubby 14 is definitely needed, and you're going to need a pry bar and a hammer because they're on there so tight. I'll show you in a minute. You just can't get to nothing. But yeah, I bought this Works Nitro half-inch impact. This is like 1,400 foot-pounds. This one's 250. This is not taking anything off. This is just, the hammer's not even hammering. They're just coming off. So this thing is, but it's heavy. It's a beast. It is a beast. So it's heavy, tough to hold up with one hand laying down like this. But this Works impact is awesome. So let me show you some things here. First, I got to take off this torsion bar cross member. I've had it off before, so it's pretty easy. You just loosen these bolts up, and then this is a 15 and it's 18 on the other side. This is an 18, so you take the tension off the torsion bars, and they're about flush with the bottom here, and that's where I'm going to put them back to, about flush. These bolts, like I said, that stubby 14 is the ticket, but one of the problems is it's hard to get up in here because I don't know any other way to take this. I'm sure if you know, tell me in the comments. But this, hopefully you can see that, there aren't bolts or anything on this like U-joint, CV, whatever joint on this front drive shaft. There's not enough room. It's basically flush with the front yoke of the front axle. So there's no room. Without pulling the transfer case backwards, I can't get this drive shaft out. If you know of a way, tell me, please. But I don't think there is. I think you have to loosen this drive shaft, this transfer case, to get this front drive shaft out, which is a nightmare. But I've got about half the bolts out of this transfer case already. The top ones, I remember I had to get my big pry bar in there and actually pry against the bottom of the cabin and pry down on those bolts because they're so tough to get to. They're kind of tucked up in there. You can't even, once you get your hand up here for this bolt, it blocks your vision so you can't even see it. So, and I had to put the stubby wrench on there and then the pry bar down here on the edge of the wrench, and then I hit it with the hammer and that finally popped it free. The one over there was tough too. So these two at the bottom are easy, but again, they're 14, not 15, not 13, they're 14. And yeah, don't round them out and think they're 15. So yeah, that's it. Continue on here, pull this cross member off, and yeah, get the last of these bolts out of here. Oh, just want to say that I lied to you. These torsion bars, not as easy as just removing them. They do make a tool. It looks a lot like this ball joint press, which works fine for this side, but the top of it is too big, and the tool is pretty big as well. So the top of the tool, it's going to be tight fitting. You see the exhaust pipe there. So the exhaust goes right over where you need to put the tool. So the C-clamp actually works just fine. So C-clamp for the win. Nice compact on the top. I'd use a wrench on the, to extend the turning ability, but yep, that's what I use. So just bringing it down now, and it lowers down and they come loose. That's all there is to it. So pretty simple with those. Like I said, now I'll get this cross member off. And if it's any, I think I'm going to have to lift it because these, you could pry these down a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, I'll, if there's any trick other than just kind of wrangling it out of here, I'll let you know. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. If it is, like I said, I'll let you know. If not, if I don't immediately come back and talk about this, then I've successfully pulled it out without too much trouble. Okay, I said I'd come back. It wasn't that hard, but this is what we did. This giant pry bar, yeah, there it is, under the frame. You need a piece of wood here, otherwise you're going to hit the pinch weld. And then this pries down. On that side we pried it down, and I actually used my hammer. So you could put a block of wood over there. So you need these both down enough to get some wiggle room for this cross member. So yeah, that's it. Cross member's out. That's the trick. Big pry bar, pulling these torsion bars down, and then blocking one on that passenger side, and then continue to pull down. Then you can kind of get it up, and then just kind of sideways. That was it. All right, guys, that's it. Transfer case, all for a shift solenoid, shift servo, shift actuator. That became more than it needed to. So yeah, that took, so you started 10 and it's 14, so 4.5 hours, which I guess isn't that bad. So yeah, it's, we just used, so I said we were going to use this transmission jack here, or whatever floor jack. With the exhaust and everything else there, you just can't maneuver it. So there's no way. So we ended up putting this one underneath the transmission, and then just using the regular floor jack, which was a chore because that thing doesn't fit on there. We actually bungeed it on the way back in, but yeah, it was with one of those the ends of the torsion bar off on the driver's side, it went up there much easier. But when you still have the ends of those torsion bars up there, you actually have to like tilt it down and slide the whole torque converter out. But Once I took that one little end off on the driver's side, it actually came off. Passenger side wasn't. Supposed if you hit it with a hammer, it'd come free. And I marked it with a piece of chalk. It went right up, and it went up in there pretty easy. The final fitment, getting the transmission and the transfer case lined up to get the shaft here lined up was that took 10-15 minutes. It was not easy. It took some time. But I got it done. Also, this boot here on this front drive shaft, there's some metal clamps on it. I was gonna go get some because the only thing I have left to do is to fill this thing up, fill it up with oil. But I can't even touch them. So I don't. The exhaust is in the way. There's almost no way to get to it. So I'm just gonna leave it. This is what it is. It's got character. So it'll be mechanical character too. So that drive shaft doesn't come out of here anyway. So that's it, guys. Some of the aftermath of the tools. Like I said, all I gotta do is crawl under here. I've got the drain plug out. I had to get one more quart. I'll probably get 2 quarts just in case of ATF plus 4. ATF plus 4. A couple more quarts, and then I'll fill it up, and then we'll be all set. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for not being critical. Maybe you were. Whatever. Yeah, I made a mistake. I screwed up. Cost me $175 and 4 hours, basically an entire day. So now now I can shower, go get the fluid, and give her a good test drive. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.